What up, y'all? It's your boy Dawson from D&D TV. Thank you for rating, commenting, and subscribing. Everybody who's donated, those of y'all who will. Also, check out my other YouTube channel, Dawson Speak TV. Go over there and subscribe. I appreciate it. Now, let me go ahead and get into this story. This story is coming out of Florida, Tampa, Florida, to be exact. And it's of this lady right here, Angel Adams Brown. She is internationally infamous, but she is barely aware of why. In 2010, a call came into Tampa's News Channel 8 newsroom about a woman living in a single motel room with 15 children. Counted 15 children at the time. And news reporters showed up along with photographers, and they interviewed Angel. And when they interviewed her, she got in front of the camera and she was so angry, and she stated something that angered so many people, not only in America, but around the world. She said that someone needs to pay for all of this, meaning that someone needs to pay for all of her children and the hardships that they were facing at that particular time. That didn't go well with many people in the United States and around the world. People gave her so much hate mail for that. People started calling her welfare queen. I mean, they let this lady have it. Now, a couple of months ago, Angel Adams and her husband Eric Brown are back in court, and they now have a total of 17 biological children. 12 of the children live with Miss Brown and her husband, and they are in trouble again, facing eviction and back in court. Angel still demands that someone needs to help her pay. Someone needs to help her and her children and her husband pay for their bills. Now, I'm going to let you all watch this video, and I will be back with the rest of my commentary, and trust me, I will not hold back.
This became an example for many of what they say is a broken welfare system here in America. And now Angel is facing eviction, and once again, she is demanding someone else pay. News Channel 8's Jeff Patterson joining us now live from the Hillsborough County Courthouse, where Adams was in front of a judge again today. Jeff?
Yeah, good evening, Rod. Angel was back in court today. Angel Adams, now Angel Brown, became very famous. And actually, out of all of the stories I've ever done at News Channel 8, she's the one most people talk about. She's the one most people remember, all because of one phrase she uttered when I first met her.
Somebody needs to be held accountable, and they need to pay.
When I first met Angel, she was living in a one-bedroom motel. 12 of her children were sharing just 2 beds, and Angel demanded that someone pay for her to move into a new house. With the help of the Department of Children and Families, Angel moved into a new home. But when someone posted stories about her on YouTube, she became internationally famous as an example of what is wrong with the welfare system in America. Angel doesn't care that people across the country hate her.
That's okay because they don't know me.
Now Angel and her husband are back in trouble and back in court.
Our lights go on, they go off. They go on, they go off.
Angel is facing eviction from her home, and her power has been turned off because they owe nearly $600 in back payments. Angel told the judge she used a check from the Tampa Housing Authority that was to pay for the power bill to pay instead to evacuate her children during Hurricane Irma.
And I used it for my children to evacuate for the Irma hurricane. When they told us to get out, I used that money to evacuate and get my children where they needed to be.
The judge told Angel and her husband the bill is theirs to pay.
You're asking me to make an agency pay money above and beyond what they committed to pay, and I don't have that authority.
And so Angel is facing eviction once again from this home. The landlord has not been paid rent in 3 months, and Angel is wondering where now to turn.
My children are hungry. My children are afraid. My children are cold. My children can't function in school. My children, they're not doing very well at all.
Yeah, the Tampa Housing Authority is working with Angel to try to find her and her husband and her children a new house. But here's an update on Angel. When I first met her 10 years ago, she had 15 children. 12 of them were living with her. Now she has 17 children. 5 of them are living outside of the home. And the question everyone always asks, why does she have so many children if she can't pay for them? And the one thing Angel has always maintained, she says, children are a gift from God. Rod?
All right, Jeff Patterson reported live for us tonight. Jeff, thanks.
All right, y'all, let's go in. Now, you heard what the news reporter said right there when he said that many people around the United States and the world have asked the question when they first saw this story, why does Miss Brown continue to have so many kids? And her reply was, children are a gift from God. Okay, I get you. Children are a gift from God. But let me tell you and parents like you and Mr. Brown something. Children become a burden to society when their parents don't take care of them. Now, I know a lot of people are not going to like my response to this. I don't care at this point, because my thing is that when you have people out here who are having children that they cannot take care of, and you're getting in front of the news cameras, you're going to all these different programs in the community, asking people to help you take care of your children, and they come to you and say, well, have you thought about contraceptives? Have you thought about this? Have you thought about being abstinent? And your reply is, oh, well, things happen. No, things don't happen 17 times. 17 times. You have 17 children. And your reply is that I don't care what people think about me because they really don't know me. No, we know that you love dick. And we know that this man loves ejaculating in you. And every time his super sperm gets in you, you're producing another child. And we know that obviously you cannot take care of these children, you and him both, because you're still 10 years later, my God, you're still back in front of the news camera asking America, this judge and people, someone help me with my children. No, you need to help yourself. And to have a fully grown man next to you, Mr. Brown, you are a waste. If you telling me that y'all owe a $600 water bill or a light bill, that is, and you can't go to the labor pool and work for a week or two to get that $600. Now, see, I know he went to prison. He was in jail 10 years ago when they aired the first story. You're not in jail anymore. You are, look at this man. You mean to tell me you can't go out there and do construction for 2 weeks? You can't go out there and landscape? I landscaped when I was in high school and in earlier part of college too. Yeah, it's tough work. Yeah, you're out there in the sun. Yeah, mosquitoes and everything gonna bite you. But you need to go to one of them places where you can work today and get paid today. But no, some people are so comfortable coming to the government, coming in front of the judge and saying, you know what, it's Tampa's housing authority that should pay for this. We had to do this with this money and we had to do this. Look, I feel no sympathy for these people. The only people in this thing that I feel sympathy for, the only ones I feel sympathy for in this particular case is the children, because the children did not ask to come here. The children didn't ask to have two pathetic parents who every time something goes wrong with them, they're back in front of the news cameras asking society to help me because I can't control my sexual urges and I keep producing children that I can't take care of. Now, when I was reading psychology today, I read that in my spare time. You know, that's kind of fun for me. I was reading this article and it was talking about the needs that children have. And it said that children need a positive self-esteem. In their eyes, in your eyes as a parent, your words, your actions, your smile, that's what your child needs to form his or her self-image. And then I thought about all 17 of Angela and Mr. Eric Brown's children. What will these children see when they look in their mother's eyes and they hear her words and they see her actions that have been consistent for the past 10 years, where she gets in front of the news cameras and she tells people, my children are hungry, my children are afraid, my children are cold, my children can't function in school, my children are not doing very well at all. Your children see that they are not doing very well at all because they have deadbeat parents. Their parents' actions have kept them in a downward spiral year after year after year after year. That's what your children are seeing. Now, y'all get mad at Dawson. I don't have 17 kids, but you know what Dawson has to do as a social worker? Go to people like her and find support for her and her kids. Go to people like her and encourage her to use protection. Encourage him. Bruh, the pull-out method is not working, so why you keep having all these kids when you as a man? Now, I'm a little harder on men. I'm sorry. I just am. Because I didn't have it easy. A man gotta get it. I'm sorry, you are a grown-ass man and you sitting here asking the courts to make the Tampa Housing Authority pay $600? Bruh, if you don't get your ass out there and go to the labor pool, What's wrong with you, man? There are men who have felonies, who have paid their debt to society by going to prison, and some of them can't get good jobs. They're trying to get their records expunged. They're trying to do things to get back on the right track. But you know what those men are doing? You see them every day. They catching the bus. They're going downtown to get to work in construction. They're going to the labor pool, waking up 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to get there early so they will get picked. There are people who stand in front of Lowe's and Home Depot all across the United States. Day workers who want to get work today, get paid today, whatever it is. And you are a grown man here with all of these kids and you want them to give you $600. I feel no sympathy for you at all. None. Now y'all may say, Dawson, that's harsh. You being hard on this sister. You being hard on this brother. No, I'm not. Because every time this sister and this brother have a need, they're back in front of the news cameras, embarrassing their children. And well, they're not embarrassed. They're doing it to the children. Because you think these children going to school and people in Tampa don't know that this is their mother and this is their father who continue to produce children that they cannot take care of? And the sad thing is, my God, the sad thing is that there are men and women across the United States and around the world who would give anything to have their own children. There are some people right now, the doctors told them that the chances of them having a baby is slim, but they've already, they believe in a miracle. They believe one day they're going to have it. Some people are going to adoption agencies looking for kids now. They've already got 1 and 2 rooms picked out in a home. Got the colors, got all this stuff, and they don't even have the child there. And guess what, y'all? They have the means to provide for these children that they don't have yet. It's just a longing that they want a child. And then you have women like this and men like this throughout America who all you got to do is get them a damn Happy Meal and they got a child. Taking the KFC and churches and anywhere else. Oh, well, you know, Rob come over and, you know, we go to sit to the park and, you know, he brought me a 2-piece snack and girl, we just started doing it. No, you need to take Rob to CVS and tell him to buy 2 packs of condoms. You don't need a damn 2-piece snack. Every time he buy you a damn Happy Meal, your legs open and you having a child that you can't take care of. That's not a gift from God. That's a burden to society because we have to deal with you in front of the news cameras, asking us to help you. We have to deal with the fact that when these children grow up, some of them, without the love they need, without the support, without the rearing they need and the guidance throughout life, then they go rob, they go commit all types of deviant actions in the community. They go commit crimes in the community. Don't tell me it doesn't happen. It happens all the time. When I worked for Department of Children and Family, some of the kids who were in our care, who were teenagers, were committing all kinds of petty crimes. And we're like, man, why are you doing this? Well, I don't have any money. I don't have a mom and daddy to give it to me. Or my mom and dad, we're broke, we're poor, we don't have this. So I'm going to get it the best way I can. We pay one way or the other. That's why I do social work. And sometimes I've had to have some tough conversations with my teenage clients and tell them, look, your mama made some bad choices. Your daddy made some bad choices. What can you do about it? But what you can do for you is not follow down the same path that your mama and your daddy went down, or the people in your family. Yeah, mama had a bunch of kids she couldn't take care of, but you know what you can do, girl? Wrap it up. You know what you can do? Choose a good man to reproduce with. Or you know what you can do? Make sure all your ducks in a row and you get your degree or get a good job. So if you do have a child, you have the means to take care of that child. It is not society's responsibility to take care of your children. Now, I know everyone needs help. We all need help at some point in our life. But when you are constantly down the same road of asking for handouts year after year, it's been a decade, 10 years later, and you're still in the same boat, you are the problem. About a year ago, I had a client, a 54-year-old white male who was always getting in trouble at the adult living facility we had him in. And I went there one day to talk to him, and I'm like, man, every time I come here, you're always arguing with people. And he was like, they don't feed me. They're trying not to feed me. I was like, they feed you. He was like, yeah, but they don't give me a lot of food. And I'm like, they're giving you food. What are you talking about? He was like, yeah, they don't give me food like my mother never gave me food. And I'm like, wait a minute. What are you talking about? He was like, I remember when I was a kid, my mom, she never fed me and my brother. My mother was a whore. This is what this man, 54 years old, was telling me. I'm like, but that was years ago. What are you talking about? He was like, every time, it seems like in my life, I've always been fighting to get recognized, fighting to get food, fighting to live, fighting to survive. And he said it all because of my mom. She was a whore. She was white trash. This is what this 54-year-old man was telling me. And I told him, I said, man, you got to forget about that. Your mom is not, you don't have to worry about your mom now. You're in another state. And he went on to say, you don't know how I still can relive that. He said, that's a part of my mental illness. He said, I remember my mom always being the town's whore. He said, everybody, all the women in town hated my mom because their husbands would come over and they would have sex with my mom. He told me as a child, he remembered him and his brother in another room and outside hearing his mom have sex with men who had wives in the other town. He said, they called my mom and us poor white trash. He said, I still remember that. I can't, 54 years old. Don't you tell me that these kids don't remember or won't remember that their mother was always in front of the news asking for help, that their mother was always begging society to take care of them, that their mother was always making bad choices that kept them in a downward spiral. I don't care how old they get. Children remember. 54 years old. This man's still dealing with stuff and he has it in his mind like it was yesterday. Talking to him, I was thinking like something happened this week. But that happened decades ago. But he still remember his mom not feeding him and his brother. Y'all take care of the kids. Take care of the kids. If you don't want kids, use condoms, use protection, don't have sex, whatever it is. The kids did not ask to be here. Some of us are out here having sex all willy-nilly. We have sex like adults, but when it's time to take care of the child, we want to be absent-minded. It's your guy Dawson. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. It's your opinion and my opinion. Sound off in the comment section. Peace.